Hello and welcome to the Climbing Daily Wednesday news show. Today, it's the news, and it's me, all by myself, because Matt and Teresa have gone off somewhere shooting in Italy or something. I mean, filming, not shooting things, filming. So we've got a jam-packed show up for you today. We have got deep water soloing, we've got sport climbing, trad climbing, and bouldering. And we've got a very special film. Again, the one that we showed you last week to show you again, but it is very special, so we're going to show you another clip. First up though, we've got deep water soloing from Mallorca. Austrian climber Jakob Schubert has reported on his Instagram page that he has made the first repetition of Alasha, Chris Sharma's deep water solo test piece in Mallorca. Chris made the first ascent of the route back in 2016, but after 5 years of projecting it, he didn't give it an official grade, but it is estimated by other climbers who have tried it to be in between 9A+ and 9B. Schubert, who once again seems to be in the form of his life, spent several days projecting before sending the route, which has a V13 8B crux, 18 meters above sea level. So after winning bronze in the Olympics and winning the World Championships in Russia, Jakob Schubert just can't stay out of the news. Massive congratulations to him. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear more after his bouldering in Ticino, sport climbing, that's probably next on the agenda. Let's stay tuned for more magicness from Jakob. Right, next up, we've got some trad climbing from Scotland. Robbie Phillips has reported on his Instagram that he has made the first ascent of What We Do in the Shadows, an E10 7A at Duntelcade Crag near Inverness in northern Scotland. Robbie, who first tried the route back in the summer of 2020, went through specific training over the summer of 2021 in order to prepare for the route. The line is a direct finish to the E8 route Nosferatu, and amazingly, in the same day, the line was repeated by another Scottish climbing legend in Dave Macleod, who'd been projecting the route with Robbie. That is one hell of a Scottish climbing dream team there. Robbie Phillips, Dave Macleod, very, very strong, two very strong guys. Great write-ups by both of the guys on Instagram. Very different in their approaches of how they climbed it. Robbie Phillips obviously went through very specific training. Dave Macleod, who is obviously a very specific trainer himself, hadn't really been training for a while, but just managed to kind of get on and get up it. He had one of those days, as not many of us do, but you know, some of us do. Anyway, next up, we've got some sport climbing news from Spain. Belgian climber Anak Verhoeven has reported on her Instagram that she has made the first repeat of the patchy Usgobia route, Patchy Chulo. The 9A/+ route was first climbed by Patchy back in 2017, and there's a link of an 8C+ and 9A+ line in Oliana, Spain. Matt and Terry managed to catch up with Anak at the La Sportiva climbing meet in Italy to find out a little bit more.
Patchy Chulo is a combination of an 8C+ and a 9A+, and it makes this beautiful line of a crux of the first route combined with one of the other one, and I loved it a lot because it's very consistent. There are no huge rests anywhere in the route, so I really enjoyed climbing it. Took me some time to figure out the solution for the crux, but I found a drop knee. I found the exact way it had to be done for me, for my size, and I managed to do it in my second red point attempt after having memorized all the details, all the footholds, all the moves, and even though it had rained a little bit before I did the send, all the holes were dry just in time, right before I had to go home, and I managed to clip the chains.
Great to see you back, Anak, in the news, climbing hard. Long may it continue. It's been a while since you retired from competition climbing in 2019, so look forward to seeing more of what you get up to in the near future. Next up, we've got some trad climbing from the US. American climber William Moss has made the first ascent of a long-standing project at the Gunks in the US. The route has been called Friend Zone and has been given the grade of 514C, making it French 8C+, making it a contender for the E10 counter. According to Reddit, the route had apparently been a project for 35 years. So it's not every day that you get a bit of exciting trad news from America, and when it comes, it's exciting, even though it is kind of confusing with all the grades and whether it's an E10 or whether it's an 8C plus or 514 or, you know what I mean. Anyway, next up we've got an 8C and 9A roundup from all over the place. 8A.nu has reported that UK climber Tony Roberts has made the 4th ascent of Batman, the Steve McClure 9A plus in Malham, UK. The 16-year-old climber is coming off the back of a silver in the Youth Combined World Championships. 8A.nu also reports that Polish climber Kajtek Pawelek has made an ascent of the essential 9A in the Frankenjura. This is his first 9A. Also reported on 8A.nu is the news that US climber Emily Harrington has made an ascent of Stockboy's Revenge, her 5th 8C in Rifle, Colorado. The 35-year-old climbing legend commented that she turned the spirals to whirls with this one. I think I know what she means. Italian climber Francesca Medici has made an ascent of Cinque Uve, an 8C in Arco. The 26-year-old first tried the route 2 years ago, but after surgery came back to the route in April of this year. Wow, that is a lot of people climbing in between the grade of 8C and 9A+. It's amazing what a bit of colder temperatures will do and a bit of summer training, I'd say. Next up, we have got the 9B counter. So having been a little bit absent over the last couple of months from the show, I'm not entirely sure what is happening. But I can tell you that there haven't been any 9Bs. There have been at least two E10s, Robbie Phillips and Dave Macleod. William Moss's 514C, I would say, is a very strong contender for an E10 counter. And then if we move over to the boulders, Taylor McNeil has made the first ascent of Moonlight Sonata in Joes Valley, Utah, and that is an 8C+. And in other bouldering news, I wanted to mention this because it was mentioned in the comments from last week's video. 36-year-old Canadian climber Yves Gravel is apparently in the form of his life. He's recently made the first ascent of two boulders, So What, which is an 8C, and Turn and Burn, which is 8B+. This is shortly after making an ascent of Low Mial, an 8C in Santa Treblon in Canada. So massive congrats to those climbers. They've made the Holy Grail.
But the Grail cannot pass beyond the Great Seal. That is the boundary and the price of immortality.
Starting to get chilly, and in light of that, for the shop feature this week, I went through the shop and noticed that we've had a bit of a restock of Rab stuff. Also, in conjunction with that, I wanted to look at jackets which were insulated, which were maybe a little bit cheaper than what you'd normally expect to pay for an insulated jacket at this time of the year. Those two things, the Rab restock and an insulated jacket, which is good value, coincided, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that I reckon you should go and take a look at. Basically, Rab have got the men's Cirrus Flex 20 hoodie, which is super good value. They've also got the men's Cirrus Alpine insulated jacket and then the men's Nebula Pro insulated jacket. So they kind of go up in levels in terms of insulation. They get warmer and warmer and warmer, but they're still at incredibly good value and they're Rab, so they're really, really good quality. And on the women's side of things, there are basically the same versions for a woman's fit. They've got the women's Cirrus Alpine insulated jacket, and we also have the women's Nebula Pro insulated jacket. I like the Nebula jacket, it's a bit of a longer fit, nice maybe kind of a bit of skiing, snowboarding, multi-sports type of thing. These jackets are Rab. I've owned a couple of Rab jackets in my time. They're super good quality. They've lasted a long, long time. I would highly recommend them. And they're at very good prices at the moment. And the stock is good, but it's not that good. I can see it, I can envisage it going out of stock at some point if people start finding out about this, which hopefully they will after this show. So go grab them where you can. Next up, we're talking about media. Last week, we released a very big film called Linksar, which documents the first ascent of an incredible mountain in the Karakoram Range of Pakistan. Here is a sneak clip that we didn't show you last week.
On July 30th, a message notified us that good weather was on its way. and my ankle was ready for action. It was time to make a bid for the summit. As we started to climb, we moved faster. Our bodies were more habituated to the thin air.
Hell yeah.
Here we are. Camp 2.
A Serac barrier reared over our heads. I tried to picture how we'd surmount its concave ice in the 6,000 meter air. The next day, however, Mark and Chris discovered a path forward.
Fucking huge. Yeah, baby!
So we showed you the trailer last week. This week, that's just like another little sneak clip. It's an amazing film. It's 17 minutes. It's a very emotional film. It's beautifully told, beautifully shot. I like it. It's the kind of thing that will get you into and make you maybe understand a little bit what alpine climbing is all about. Next up, we have got a little sneak peek look at what the guys, or what we got up to at the Francesca Climbing Festival last month.
So it's Saturday and there's the bouldering competition going on, which is bouldering and buildings. So yeah, we're bouldering all around the town, and follow me.
The bouldering event is a highlight of the weekend. There are a ton of boulders set all around the town, and they vary in difficulty. We have a bouldering episode coming out soon, so watch out for that. And in the meanwhile, here's some of the action.
Check that out. That's going out on Climbing Daily. Links to our film is going out on Epic TV. That is kind of it, I think. Wait a minute. Comment of the week. Okay, comment of the week. I went through last week's a lot of stuff about amphibians and manphibians and stuff like that. But what I did pick out was XXSK8 Mafia Flip XX. Says, ha ha ha, we need more of Teresa's fake British accent. Big smiley face. Almost had me spilling my breakfast coffee. Let's have a little look back and hear what it sounded like.
This story was picked up by the BBC. It was
The BBC?
front page news.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a Mary Poppins type-ish British accent, which, you know, some people liked. XXSK8 Mafia Flip XX. Digged it a lot, and I know a lot of you others did. Other people did as well. We think that perhaps we're going to try and get to talk like that all the time. Although people do like our Italian as well. That's it. Thanks very much for joining Just Me. If you made it all the way to this point, thanks very much. I wish you all the best for the rest of the week. Hope all the projects go down. Hope everything that you want comes true, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.